Hi there. It's 4 a.m. and I just finished redoing completely a web that got screwed up because I screwed it up trying to make it better, and I touched some code and it got screwed up, so I had to do it from scratch. Well, it took me just like a day. And this video is not for that. This video, before sleeping, I've been thinking I needed to do this video about why I fired my real estate office I had here in Manila, in Pasig, for them to rent an apartment, a studio we were renting, right? I won't give the name, alright, of the company because I don't want to get sued. But I just fired them because they're fucking slow. Okay, that's the thing. They're very slow because their procedures take too much validation and authorization. And well, this girl had to ask her supervisor, who had to ask their manager if the price that I was giving. Hey, listen to this. The price that I was giving for my own studio was acceptable or not. She, who works for me, was going to tell me if the company allowed to rent for the price I wanted to rent. I said, hey girl, listen. I'm the client. I'm the owner of the flat. I'm the owner of the studio. If I want to give the studio for 1,000 pesos, I give it for 1,000 pesos. What's your problem? I decide the price, not you. Correct? Number one. Number two, she couldn't process my clients in the moment. Okay, I brought them the clients. Before visiting the flat with the clients, I said, hey guys, since you've been 2 months without renting my flat, what will happen if I get a client and I just bring the clients to you in order to process all the paperwork? And will you charge the same commission? So she consulted it, and then she came with the answer, which is yes, they'll get the same commission. What the fuck? I should get the commission, right? Or we should share the commission. I found the client for them and they get the commission full anyway. Well, that wasn't very correct, but they said, okay, fine. I give you the commission. I'm so generous, I'll give you the commission. Just do the paperwork for me. So she said she couldn't do it in the moment. They had to bring all the papers that were needed physically. They had to bring it in other day. The next day they wouldn't work because it was the end of Ramadan day, and that day they don't work. Alright? Shit, man. If you wanna close the deal, you work. Sunday, Ramadan, Christmas, whatever the fuck it is. You wanna close the deal, the prospects are hot. They want to rent. They wanted to rent. They were there sitting down with me in their office. They wanted to rent that same moment. So she said no. They have to come back other day, not the next day because it was a holiday. So in 2 days they had to come back, bring the papers, and then they would start the process, which would last 2 or 3 days yet. 5 days? 5 days to get the money from a rent and sign the contract? Shit, man. Shit. I've been doing some real estate since year 2002, I think. Okay, that's 14 years ago. I started doing some real estate, renting places. Dude, I have the papers ready. If the possible tenant, brings the money, I'm ready to sign in 1 minute. That's when you close the deal, when the prospect is hot, not 5 days after. In 5 days, those people, my clients, the ones I found for you for free, could find another 5 possible condos to rent, another 5 studios to rent. Do you see? You're throwing them into my competition, into your competition. So I was getting quite irritated with her, and then she took 10 minutes to print a form, an empty form. She didn't type anything. She just printed. She took 10 minutes to hit the button and print a form for my possible tenants to fill up. A blank form. She didn't type anything. A form that, if that's her job is to rent places, she should have like 20 copies of that form sitting by her desk and just hand it, right? In like 1 second. But it took her like 10 minutes. My tenants were looking at her. They didn't know what to think anymore. Like, what's the point? And then she brought the blank form. So we were all pretty annoyed. So, well, after all this mess, and then they asked for a lot of... My tenants only want to rent for 3 months, and they were asking... The company was asking for 3 months deposit, 2 months advance. Now, 2 months deposit, 3 months advance. My tenants were freaking out. So finally, we decided to do it on our own. I got the checks, I got the money, I signed the contract the next day, 9 a.m. while they're hot yet. And that's it, they're inside. I gave them the keys, they gave me the checks. So I fired the real estate company because they work as slow as the government. Shit, how much bureaucracy? How can they do business? They're gonna wait 5 days. I don't know if you understand this well. It's like you go to a supermarket and you want to buy a Coca-Cola, and the cashier tells you, "Oh, wait, come back another day in 5 days. Come back in 5 days and I'll sell you the Coca-Cola. If I like you. If I like your face that day. If I like your requirements. The ones you bring. Your documentation." Okay, a little precaution is okay. Bring the documents the next day. The same day, later on. But you would be annoyed if a cashier told you, "Come in 5 days," right? You would be very annoyed. Probably, what would you do? You would get angry and you would go to the shop in front and buy a fucking Coca-Cola, right? You wouldn't have patience to go back in 5 days because you want it now. You don't want it in 5 days. So more or less, you can imagine the same thing that happens when you want to rent a property. They loved it. They were in love with it. They were crazy about it. Of course, I sold it very well, and the place is beautiful. So they wanted it immediately. I said, "Do you like it?" And they said, "Yes." Fast. Both. It's a couple. Both said, "Yes, I want it. I want it." So that's a moment. Just grab the money, sign the contract, and let's go. Come on. Well, so that's it. Hope to hear your opinions. Hope they learn the lesson. Hope in the future I find a more professional company. And if not, I'm still gonna do the things myself. Find the client by myself as I did. Sign the contract by myself as I did. Get the money by myself as I did. Hand them the keys myself, and probably get them soon cable TV myself. Well, signing off. 4 a.m. Time to sleep. Keep on grinding. Bye.